You heard Mitch McConnell say if the president were to do extensive immigration reform unilaterally through executive order, it would be a big mistake. He'd be waving a red flag in front of a bull. You support comprehensive immigration reform. If Congress can't pass legislation in the House and the Senate, what's wrong with the president doing it on his own?
Well, my view is that the president should give the new Congress a chance. I've been working on this since 2006. I've got the scars to show for it. My belief is this is a dangerous miscalculation by the president, but I hate to agree with Jay Carney. I don't want to ruin a rising career in the broadcast world, but I think Jay's probably right. The president has calculated that the risk of not following through with the executive action when he promised to do it is greater than just trying to engage the new Congress. I think he's making a mistake here politically, but the public will soon let him know if they agree with this decision.
Well, do you think there's enough votes in either the lame duck session of the Senate and the House or in the next session to go ahead and pass substantive legislation, the kind of legislation you, Senator McCain, Marco Rubio, others wanted?
Really, I don't know, Wolf. At the end of the day, the Republican Party would benefit from getting immigration off the table. It'd be hard for me to see how we could win the presidency in 2016 if we're blamed for blocking immigration reform. At the same time, I think the American people will be very fair when it comes to immigration reform, but they will rebel against President Obama doing it unilaterally, because if you just give amnesty to people through executive action and really don't secure your border and change the legal immigration system, which he can't do by himself, you're inviting a run on our border. So I think he's making a big misstep here. And if we do try as a new Republican-controlled Congress and we fail because we're too hard-headed or too hard-hearted, then we'll pay a price.
What was the message the president delivered to you when he called you last night to congratulate you on your win?
He said, you're an interesting cat. You know, I represent a very red state. I love my state, but I do try to find ways to solve problems. I think what you saw today was the outline of a solution on our infrastructure problems. The president embraced last night with me a desire to replenish the Highway Trust Fund, improve our roads, bridges, and ports, and using overseas tax dollars that could be repatriated at a lower rate below 35%. I think that's going to work. I'm very encouraged by what he said about infrastructure.
And what was your message to him?
Be patient. You know, patience is a virtue in democracy. I think it's a necessity. Mr. President, you're no different than other presidents at the 6-year point. Bill Clinton and Ronald Reagan were able to do really good things. Challenge us on immigration. Expose us as a party. Do we really want to have a practical solution to immigration now that we have both houses of Congress? Test us in 2015. Don't go it alone. Work with me and others to replace the defense cuts under sequestration that are destroying our ability to defend the country. I'd like to do a mini Simpson-Bowles deal. He really embraced that idea. So I just told him, be patient, invite people down. You know, you're an engaging fellow. It's hard not to like the president, but he's a very distant figure in Washington. Get that behind you, and finally unleash Joe Biden. Everybody likes Joe.
So you think Joe Biden could be a good conduit, a good liaison with the new Republican leadership?
Let Joe out of the House. And, Mr. President, invite us down. Talk to us. You know, the next 2 years could be good if we all want it to be.